Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this is the review video for my predictions of Game Week 3 in League 1. We are going to see how many of my predictions were right and how many of them I messed up. It has not been quite a good week for me in any of the leagues. It was quite a bad week, to be very honest with you. So let's see if it's the same in League 1 as well. You already know the point system: 3 points if my entire prediction was right, and 2 points if the result was right but the score line was not right. So let's get right into it. The first game was Lyon versus Strasbourg, and I went with a 2-0 Strasbourg win because Lyon have been dreadful at the start of the season, and Strasbourg were undefeated coming into the game. They won their previous game as well, so they came in the game with a bit of a confidence, and Lyon on the other hand were quite dejected, losing 2 games and losing both of them quite comprehensively, home and away. It's not like just they went away and lost both of them. No, they lost home and away, so it was not looking really good. And the way that game started, it felt like it was just gonna be like the last 2 games. Strasbourg get the lead in the first 2 minutes, and like they were looking really good, and Lyon were quite dejected. But after the goal, the game quite opened up, and it became sort of an end-to-end stuff. Both teams going ahead and attacking and creating a lot of chances. It was quite an entertaining game to watch, to be very honest with you. And I'll be very honest, this was like the Lyon's best performance in the entire season till now, and they got rewarded because of their performance, and they get the equalizer just before halftime. So we go into the second half with both teams at one apiece, and then the second half comes in, and Strasbourg come back, and like I don't know what it is with Lyon that they are not starting the games, or they are not starting the halves very good. Like they are not in the first 10-15 minutes, they are quite shaky. They cannot play good football. They are not playing proper passes. Like it takes them time to get along. So and that happened the same in this game as well. And Strasbourg went away and they took a 2-goal lead, and it became 3-1. And at that point you felt like, okay, the game is basically done. Lyon have lost 3 in a row, but to be honest, they go ahead and they do a remarkable comeback. They score 3 goals in the next 12 minutes, and they bring the score to 4-3, and they turn the game on its head, and they go on and they win it. Like after getting the lead, they defended quite well, and still like they try to create more chances, try to score more goals as well. Strasbourg on the other hand, they were trying to go ahead and looking for that equalizer to get them a point at least out of this game, but they were not able to do it. I mean, Lyon would be very, very happy with the situation that they were in to go ahead and get the win. As I said, it was the one of the their best performance of the season. Both the new signings coming out and scoring and assisting each other, so it was good for that was a good thing for them as well. So they go into the international break finally winning their first game, and winning in such a fashion. I think it would be it would give them a lot of confidence. It would boost their morale as well. Strasbourg on the other hand, I think they would be quite disappointed that they were 2 goals ahead, and they against a team that has already lost 2 games, but they were not able to hold on to that lead and get the 3 points. And to be very honest with you, at the end they would have preferred to get at least 1 point out of this, but they were not able to do it, and they lose their first game of the season. But Lyon, as I said, first win of the season, and they will be quite happy about it. Moving on, the second game was Brest versus Saint Etienne, and I went with a 1-all draw because, to be very honest with you, both the teams have started the season terribly, and both were like they were not playing good football. They did not give you any confidence that it was gonna change. Like for the first 2 weeks, both of them, as I said, have been terrible. So that's what my thought process was. I did not think that it was gonna change, and to be honest, it did not change for one team, because Saint Etienne, they were again terrible, but Brest on the other hand, like they were really good in this game. They looked quite dominating, and they go ahead and they took the lead quite early in the first 10 minutes. They were 1-0 up, and they never looked back. They were like in a full control. They were so calm on the ball. There are sometimes in a season where a team plays a game of football that can turn around whatever has happened before that, and I think this was that game for Brest. As I say, the first two games of the season, they were really terrible, but in this game you would have not said that this is the same team that played those first two games. They were really good. They looked composed, they were looked calm, they looked full in control. Like the passes that they make and the way they were playing, it was so easy for them. And 2 goals in each half, and like they, as I said, were very dominating performance from Brest at home, scoring 4 goals and getting 3 important points. Their first win of the season, first points of the season, so that's very important for them, and I think they would be very happy, especially going into the international break. So just like Lyon, they would go into the international break with a full confidence, like feeling good about themselves, and now they are gonna come back and they are gonna hope that they can continue what they did in their last game. Saint-Etienne on the other hand, I mean, it is not looking good, is it? Like 3 games, 3 defeats, and they are not playing good football. They have been absolutely dreadful in all those 3 games, and I think if this continues, it is not gonna be a good season. I have already said that they are gonna be one of those teams that fight for relegation, and at the way they have started, it seems like that my prediction is gonna come true, because like not only are they not winning, they are not even playing good football. So like it's not really looking good, and they need to do something very quickly, otherwise it's gonna be a long and hard season for them, and they might end up getting relegated. Moving on, the next game was Montpellier versus Nantes, and I went for a 3-1 win for Nantes, because like I never thought that Montpellier would be able to defeat Nantes the way that they got thrashed by PSG. And even in the first game, like they're not looking like a team that is on the up. They're not playing good football, and like I'm not impressed by them at the start of the season until now. Not on the other hand, it's not like they are playing really good football, but like they are quite better than Montpellier, and like you could see the difference. Like they are getting better, they are getting into their groove as the season is coming by, from the first match of the season to this game. Like they are getting better, so I expected like an easy win for Nantes. I went for a 2-1 win, but it was an even better win for them. And as I expected, like they Montpellier were not really good in that game. Nantes went ahead and got an early lead inside 10 minutes, and they controlled the game. They were really good in that game. Montpellier, they did come back, they made a comeback, they scored an equalizer, and it became a 1-1, but still, like, and the goal that was also because of a stupid goalkeeping error. It's not like something Montpellier did on their own, and it was not a goalkeeper who made the mistake, and Montpellier got the reward out of it, but even then they were not able to take advantage out of it. Like even though after that, it's not like they created a lot of chances and they came back in it. No, it was the North side that looked like the one that are gonna come back. They were the constant threat, they were creating chances, and they got their reward. Just before halftime, they take the lead back, and it's a 2-1 as we go into the second half. And the second half, like, it was quite dull. There was barely anything that happened in the second half, as much as like the exciting the first half was, getting 3 goals out of that. Even though it was a mistake, but it was like 3 goals, and Nantes created a lot of chances in that game, but in that half. But the second half, as I said, is quite dull, barely anything made until late on. Mustafa Mohamed comes in and he scores the 3rd goal for Nantes, and they end the game quite with a convincing win, getting another 3 points following up there after last week's win against Auxerre. So now they are looking very good. Montpellier, on the other hand, like it's not looking very good. Second defeat in a row. They just have like 1 point at the moment, so it's not a good start for them to the season. And they would be in a way glad that international break has come up, so they can go back and they can regroup and they can come back with a much better, like they can much better mindset, and they can try to start their season. Like they can think that the season is just starting now after international break. The first three games don't really matter. They should not think about that, and they would hope that now the new season, after the international national break, they can go ahead and they can play better, and they can get the points and the wins that they really want, because it's not looking really good at the moment. The next game was Toulouse versus Marseille, and I went for a 3-1 win, and it was a 3-1 win for Marseille. Like I have been very impressed by Marseille. I predicted them to have a very good season in my prediction, because the team that the transfer business was really good for by them. And Roberto De Zerbi, I'm a huge fan of him, and I knew like this season was going to be quite different for them, and I think it is showing already. The way they are playing, like it is really good. It's fun to watch Marseille at the moment, and they were the same like in this game as well, getting a 2-goal lead early on in the first half, courtesy of Mason Greenwood. I mean, it is 5 goals in 3 games for him. What a signing he is turning out to be. And Marseille, like they have not lost against Toulouse in their last 20 meetings, so you would be like in a way an idiot to bet against them. And it was, as I said, the same. They get a 2-0 lead in the first half. They score 2, but they created a lot of chances. Toulouse were never really in the game. Second half comes in, and then Marseille go ahead and get their 3rd goal quite early on, and they basically put the game to a bed, and they toyed with Toulouse, to be very honest with you, after going 3-0 ahead. Even before that, like it felt like a lot of time it felt like men against boys. Even the scoreline might show 3-1, but it could easily have been like 5-1, 6-1, the way they were playing. And as I said, they are going to be a big threat to PSG's title this season. The way they are playing the free attacking football, the way they switch to counterattacks in just in an instant, like it's really looking good for Marseille. Toulouse, on the other hand, they got a lucky consolation goal at the end. That also was a goalkeeping error. Apart from that, like it's not looking good for them. They are still winless after 3 games, and they would hope that after the international break they can get out of that run, and they can finally win a game. But as of now, it's not looking good, and they need to do something about it. Marseille, on the other hand, 3 games undefeated till now, 2 wins and a draw, and they are looking very good and very dangerous. The next game, it was Monaco versus Lens, and I went for a 2-2 draw because both these teams have started the season really well. They both came into this game with 100% record, and they played really good, so I expected a good effort, a good game, and I was not able to really pick any of them, so I sat on the fence, and I thought it was going to be a good game, but unfortunately it was not a really good one. It was quite a bad game of football, I'll be very honest with you. Quite boring. Like it was in a way, like it was such a cagey affair. It felt like a chess match, both teams trying to cancel each other out. Barely anything created in the first half in the entire game until the last 10-15 minutes. There was nothing in this game, and like I really did not expect because the way both of these teams had played in the first 2 games, I thought there would be goals and there would be a lot of chances created, but there was nothing. As I said, the last 10-15 minutes was where all the action happened. Lens go ahead and they get a goal, and they get the lead, but VAR comes in and the goal gets disallowed because of handball, and you thought like, okay, that's it, we are not gonna get another goal. But the home side, they go ahead in the 86 or 87, 4 minutes to go, and they Monaco take the lead, and it looked like the game was done and dusted. But the Lady Luck was on a Lens side, and they get a penalty, and in a way a revenge from Monaco through VAR again in the 92nd minutes. This time it's the Monaco player whose ball who handles the ball inside the penalty area. Lens get the penalty and they score, and it's a 1-1, and the game ends in a draw. which I think was a fair result. I don't think any of the teams did enough to win that game, and I think that game deserved to be ended in a draw. It was not a good game, but I think it was a fair result. Both teams still undefeated, and they both have had a good start to the season. Moving on to the next game, it was Ligue versus O'Hare, and I went for a 3-2 win. Both teams came into this game with like one win, one defeat scenario, and like both of them have played good football, and I expected a good game out of it, and it was quite an entertaining game, to be very honest with you. I gave Ligue the edge because they were at home, but they went behind quite early on thanks to a great free kick by Perrine early on in the first half, and I thought Auxerre might go ahead and they might surprise Ligue in this game, but their lead did not last for that long. Just after 5 minutes they conceded an own goal, and Ligue were back on level terms, and it got better for them as Auxerre were reduced to a 10-man, and that basically changed the whole scenario of the game, and Ligue took full advantage of that, and they controlled the game in the second half, taking full advantage of the extra man, and they scored two great goals, going 3-1 up, and they comfortably win the game, and they get the 3 points, and I think it was a deserved win. They played really good even before having that extra man advantage. It was quite a fair game. It was quite an interesting, entertaining game, to be very honest with you. Both teams were really going at it after the red card, even though the scenario changed, but Ligue, you cannot fault them. They did really good. They created a lot of chances, and I think they deserve to win that game, to be very honest with you. A second win of the season for them, second in a row as well, after losing their first game opening their fixtures against PSG. They have bounced back really good, and they would hope that it continues. Auxerre, on the other hand, second defeat in a row for them, and in this game I think they would be quite disappointed, especially after the start that they had. They were the teams that was making more moves, that was threatening a lot, but after that red card, as I said, the game changed completely. A bit disappointed, but they would hope that they can come back and start all over again after the international break. Moving on to the next game, it was Ram versus Rennes, and I went for a 2-1 Rennes win, but I did say that this game could go either way. It could end in a draw, and it could either end with a Ram win, because both these teams have started a season in a good way. Like, it's very hard to call both of them at the moment. It was the same when I was making the prediction video, because they are almost so close, their scores are almost the same, so it's very hard to predict these two, and the way they have started, again, it has been very difficult to make predictions regarding them, and that is why, like as I said, it could go either way, and I did say it was going to be a close game, and it was quite a close game as well. One of those games that you would really like to watch again and again. It was quite good, quite competitive. Both teams fighting it out for those 3 points, and it was a very good game to watch. In the end, Rams were the lucky one. They got the 3 points, the crucial 3 points, I would say. Especially, both these teams are in that upper half of the table, not up, from the 10th to 7th, 8th position. These are the teams that they want to get into that top 7, top 6, top 5, trying to get into the European places somehow. So getting the points of each other is very crucial for them. So yeah, good win for Rams. Rennes, they will be a bit disappointed that they were not able to get at least a point out of this, but I think it was a fair result, to be very honest with you, and I think that Rams getting the win was quite good for them as well. So yeah, as I said, a fair result and a good game of football. Moving on, the next game was Angers versus Nice, and I went for a 3-0 win. I expected it to be a very one-sided game, and it was a one-sided game. Nice were all over Angers. They did not let them have the ball. They did not let them play football in any way. It was such a one-sided game. They go ahead and they took an early 2-goal lead in the first half, and that was basically it, you would have thought. But Angers got a lifeline. They got Nice were reduced to 10 men. They got a pen, and it's a 2-1, and maybe you thought that this could change things, and Nice being down to 10 men, and Onjor, they need to get just one goal to get their first points of the season. It was their first goal of the season coming to a penalty. They've still not scored an open play goal, and like it was going to be a bit difficult, but there was still hope. But Nice, they did not really get that they were down to 10 men. They go ahead and they score another 2 goals, and so their game ends 4-1. Quite a comprehensive kind of comfortable win for Nice, and I think it was a deserved. Like Onjor were never really in the game, and Nice, they looked really good, and they needed that win, and I think it was very important for them to finish this month of August on a high, going into the international break with such a commanding win. Onjor, it's not a good start. It's 3 defeats in a row for them, and to be very honest with you, I expected this. I have said that they are going to go straight back down, and the way they have started the season, it's looking likely that they are going to go down straight away into League 2. The next and the last game of match day 3 in League 1 was Lille versus PSG, and I went for a comfortable 3-1 win for PSG. Both teams came into this game with a 100% record, but even in my preview I said that the performances of both the teams have been quite different. PSG were terrific. They were sensational in the first 2 games, and Lille, they got lucky. They did not play good in those first games, but they somehow managed to win both of those games. And I said when they play a good game, a good team, it is gonna show, and it did. Like, they were decimated, to be very honest with you. It was such a one-sided game for a majority of that game. PSG went ahead. They took a 2-goal lead quite comfortably. It was they were never really challenged properly by Lille until quite late in the game, and they got a goal back through a counter attack. Like, it was against a run of play. They get a goal back, and then it became like that is a sort of woke them up, and they thought that they had leveled up the game 4 minutes later when they scored again, but unfortunately for them it was ruled offside. And after that, like, PSG calmed down. They took control back, and they just basically started to waste time, so make sure that they can finish out the game, and they finally were able to, as Lille tried to get the equalizer. PSG hit them in the counter in the added on time, and they scored the 3rd goal, and they put the game to bed. And that was it, their 3rd win in a row, 100% record, and they're looking really good. I have said that I think this year might be one of those where PSG might not win the title. I think it's going to be very interesting in France this year. There are a couple of teams that can really go ahead and challenge PSG, but they have started really good. I think they are the only team with a 100% record till now, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I'm sure about that. Yeah, PSG are the only ones with a 100% record, but after that you have a couple of teams that I think can really go ahead and challenge them. So it will be quite interesting to see what happens as the season progresses. Lille, on the other hand, before the season, I said that Lille are going to be one of the teams that challenge PSG, and they have started I said the first 2 games they have won. They have not played good, but they have won those 2 games, so that keeps them in the hunt. Like, they're just 3 points behind at the moment against PSG, and they have already played PSG, so that's sort of an advantage for them in a way, that they can now go ahead and they can win other games, and they can stay in touching distance with Paris Saint-Germain. But they need to start playing better football, because there are other teams right now that if Lille play them, they will get defeated, not just by PSG, like the other teams in the top half, because they are not playing good football. They would be happy in a way that the international break has come in, so they can regroup and get better, and they can come back and start again after the international break. And they would hope that this time around they play better football, and not play like they have played in the month of August. So yeah, that is it. This is ends my review of my predictions that I made. I have no idea how many points I made. I think again I did very bad. League 1 is not going as I expected, to be very honest with you. You will see the points here somewhere, and you will know how many points I did. I really think I am under 10 this week, because a lot of the results went completely differently than I thought. But what can I do? It is football, anything can happen. But yeah, that is it, my points. So yeah, we're gonna have the predictions video for this week dropping from tomorrow, I guess. like by Thursday you are going to see the prediction video for the next week. So you can go ahead and comment on those videos, and you can play along with me, and we can see who gets how many points at the end of the game a day. So yeah, that is it for me in this video. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 300 subscribers before the month of September ends. We are slowly getting close. We have entered all 170. We need to speed it up, because now it's like less than 20 days remaining for September to end, and we are still 100 plus subscribers away. So let's hope we can achieve our target. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, and that is it for me in this video. Until next time, bye bye.